Think about your day at work. Maybe you're pitching a big idea to your team. You're asking for a deadline extension from your manager, or maybe you're resolving some kind of disagreement during a meeting. What determines if you succeed in any of these scenarios? It's not just logics or facts, it's influence. Whether it's closing a deal, motivating a team, or rallying support for a big project, mastering influence is a superpower in today's workplace. It's not about manipulation. It's about guiding decisions, inspiring collaboration, and fostering trust. This can also be the basis of emotional intelligence. And the best part, influence is a skill that you can develop. So today, we're breaking down three powerful persuasion techniques: storytelling, emotional appeals, and authority, and how you can master them so that you can thrive in your career. Humans are natural storytellers. Storytellers simplify complex ideas, they spark emotions, and create memorable experiences, and making them one of the most effective tools of persuasion. Think about it. Are you more likely to remember a data chart or a story about how a client's life was changed by your product? Stories resonate because they're relatable and they're engaging. When you frame your idea as a narrative, you aren't just presenting information, you're creating a shared experience. And this makes your pitch more convincing and easier for others to remember. So let's take Sarah, for example. Sarah's pitching a new initiative to her team, and she frames it as a story about the challenges their company has faced in the past, how they overcame them, and how this next new project will be the big win. So by connecting the data to a shared emotional experience, she turns a dry pitch into a rallying call. So how do you apply this information in the workplace? Let's look at first pitching a new idea. So as we've said, instead of focusing solely on data, frame your proposal as a story. Something like, our team has struggled with this issue last quarter, but this solution helped us improve by 25%. Imagine the success we could see with this new initiative. The next would be team collaboration. When you introduce a project, tell a story about why it's important. Appeal to the shared goals, like a company growth or solving a challenge for a client. And then finally, presentation skills. Use customer success stories to highlight the impact of your product or service during your sales pitches. The next tool is emotional appeals because they engage the heart, not just the mind. And it's really easy to think of the workplace as purely logical. But the fact is that emotions play a huge role in decision making. We just use logic to confirm what we emotionally want. So whether it's excitement or fear or pride or gratitude, tapping into these emotions can strengthen your message. If you want someone to care about your idea or vision, you need to connect with them on some kind of emotional level. So imagine that you were a manager trying to rally a team after a fourth tough quarter. Instead of solely focusing on the numbers, remind your team of their hard work and how their persistence proves that they're capable of anything. And then you end with a vision of what success looks like, not just for the company, but for them as individuals. Appeals like this make people feel valued and motivated people, well, they deliver results. So whether it's pride or fear or gratitude, tapping into how people feel creates a really strong connection. Emotional appeals help you inspire action and build trust within your team. So how do you apply this at work? Well, when motivating your team, instead of focusing solely on KPIs, remind your team of the contributions and how their work impacts the bigger picture. For example, you could say, your hard work is why we're seeing results, and together we can make this launch into something to remember. Next, building relationships. So you want to express genuine gratitude and empathy when working with colleagues. And a simple acknowledgement of someone's effort inspires loyalty and collaboration. How about conflict resolution? When you're resolving disputes, appeal to shared values or goals. For instance, we might have different approaches, but we all want what's best for the client. So, how can we align to make that happen? And be sincere. Emotional appeals that feel forced or scriptive can feel manipulative and they can backfire. So always speak from a place of authenticity and ensure that your message aligns with genuine intentions. The last area we're going to look at is authority, and this is a key pillar of influence in the workplace. People are more likely to trust and follow somebody who projects expertise and confidence. And authority, it's not about orders or titles. It's about earning respect through your actions and your knowledge. Authority influences decision making because it establishes trust and credibility. So when you present yourself as an expert with solutions, other people are more likely to take your ideas seriously. So here's a few ways to do that. Present ideas with confidence. So back up your proposals with research, data, and credible evidence. And when you're presenting to leadership or to clients, be ready to answer all of their questions. Next, establish expertise. So volunteer for projects that showcase your strengths. If you're the go-to person for a specific skill, your opinion is going to carry more weight. Next, you can train and mentor. Share your knowledge with colleagues. Leading teams, mentoring peers, positions you as an authority, and it strengthens your reputation. But here's the trick. You don't need to have a fancy title to leverage authority. You show it through consistency, preparation, and follow through. Be approachable and reliable. Do your homework, know your facts, and be that person who consistently delivers so that when you step into a room with that credibility, your ideas automatically carry more weight. And remember that true authority isn't about being bossy. It's about being trustworthy and reliable. So let's look at how these techniques really play out in real life. It might look like using storytelling in a sales pitch to connect with a client's needs, or tapping into emotional appeals to resolve disagreement, like emphasizing a shared goal to unite a divided team. To become a persuasive communicator, well, that requires practice and reflection and adaptability. So here's a few tips to help you build and refine your influence skills over time. First, be observant. Pay close attention to what resonates with your colleagues and your clients. Are they moved by numbers, personal stories, or emotional appeals? And tailor your approach to suit their preferences. Practice active listening, because influencing is not just about speaking, it's about understanding. So show genuine interest in other people's viewpoints and then adapt your message to address their needs. Because when people feel heard, they're more open to your ideas. Next, you want to prepare and rehearse. So whether it's a presentation or a one-on-one discussion, prepare your points in advance. Identify the key takeaways that you want your audience to remember and to support them with reliable data or relatable anecdotes. Next, you want to align influence with values. Because here's the thing. Persuasion is not manipulation. It's about collaboration. So always align your persuasive efforts with ethical principles and shared values so that you build trust and foster long-term relationships. Mastering influence is not about being more persuasive. It's about becoming a better collaborator and a communicator. By using storytelling, emotional appeals, and authority, you inspire your team, you build trust with your clients, and you achieve goals that benefit everybody in your workplace. So remember that influence is a skill, and it can be learned and it can be developed. And every interaction at work is an opportunity for you to refine your influence superpower. So start small, experiment with these techniques, and watch how your connections and your impact grows. And as always, remember that there can be a fine line between influence used for betterment and manipulation that can be karmic. So drop a comment below and share how you've seen influence at work in your office. And hey, don't forget to follow and subscribe for more tips here at Mindful Influence and on how to help you be more aware, resist manipulation, and thrive. I'm Roberta Fernandez with Mindful Influences.